how do you guys bring that up in conversations? Do they come up like in a Brad situation where it's like, I don't take anything? Or like what are some strategies that you all do to bring in those GoodRx and Cost Plus conversations?
Well, I had one just the other day that will be starting his MedSup and Medicare and everything soon. He's on a couple of very low cost, seems like a blood pressure and a cholesterol or something, but very inexpensive on his current, private insurance plan. And one of the things we talked about was, that penalty, when we talked about the drug plan, the penalty and what would happen, and the $6.90 plan, which was the one we ended up deciding that we would do when the time comes, set up, would be because his regular medications are still very low cost on that. Mm-hmm. And the plan, of course, is inexpensive. And then it'll avoid the penalty for later. But he has some mental health drugs that occasionally he picks up, and those were crazy prices, and they're going to go right to that $480 deductible. Mm. And because he's so healthy and takes so little medication, we developed a strategy together. In our conversation, with bonding and how this could work, is that he could just pick that up when if and when the time comes he needs it, he could pick that up through GoodRx. And he said, "Oh, I've got that on my phone. That's great," whatever. And it was like way cheap on GoodRx. And then he won't be adding to his deductible because his regular ones are like tier 1 or whatever, and don't, yeah. But then what that is a cost, like a way to measure if he does have some crisis or gets in a car accident or something big happens and he's suddenly on a bunch of medications, then he can pay the deductible. That was our strategy. We're talking about being smart and saving money and how to.
GoodRx even has a higher up tiers. You can purchase a GoodRx plan. So you can purchase a GoodRx plan on top of it. You could pay the $6.90, but you can pay it's like $6, because I had to do that once, $6 a month or something, and it even reduces the GoodRx prices considerably amount more. So it's like GoodRx Gold or something.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
No, it's very competitive.
So
the only thing it's just not credible coverage. That's the only.
Right.
But if there is
which I explained to him
Yeah.
when we were developing our strategy together. But
and Walmart, I know, and I have mentioned this once or twice, but I've always I'm not telling you to do this because I'm nothing. But in my experience, Walmart has insulin, depending on what kind you take. Yeah. Through the pharmacy, $25 a vial, no insurance, for 3 different kinds. But you have to know what you're doing. No insurance, no prescription, no nothing, $25.
Yeah.
But it's type 1 diabetes, it's type 1 insulin. Mm-hmm. So it's insulin. But there are low cost things out there. You just have to know.
Right.
When it comes to insulin, I'll usually, how many units do you take? Oh, I take 120 units a day. Have you talked to your doctor about an insulin pump? Mm-hmm. Because then that'll be covered by Part B, and all your insulin's going to be covered under Part B. Yeah, and that's a huge load off for some people. It's like, I've never even heard of that, but it's something to bring up, feather in our cap, helping them out. But
that in essence it's the lifestyle change.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Pens that you have to dial. Those pens that are so expensive that you dial up, and the whatever. Those are the things that are so dang expensive that everybody's on. That are so expensive.
And all the designer drugs.
But see, the conversations that we're having now, that's what frustrates new agents, because you guys are having very healthy conversations about someone's personal health, especially something that's going to cost them a lot. And when they hear that they're having these normal, everyday conversations with someone that they can trust, that's going to allow them to make a clear decision. So it's really hard to get, being a trainer and being in recruiting, people who are not in Medicare, they ask, "Oh yeah, I'll pick up Medicare." Well, you got to pay attention to stuff like this. You got to know, it's been a while since I've done a GoodRx Part D comparison. Have you seen significant differences with any specific drugs?
Can be. You know, and
Yeah.
I've had those conversations. I get the calls all the time. It's like, Brad, this drug, this plan I have with Humana, it's costing me a fortune. I'm like, well, have you looked at GoodRx? Let's take a look. Takes 2 seconds. You pull it up, hundreds of dollars a month less.
Well, now you have the Mark Cuban thing. What's that
Yeah,
called?
Cuban Cost
Yeah.
Plus. I mean, there's so many of them out there,
Yeah.
which is great because I think they need some competition. You know, to show, okay, how come we can do it here for this? And I mean, VA, the difference in price between VA drugs and what you could get on a drug plan, I mean, it's so massive, and they're still making money at the VA cost.